The real question isn't, how do I make more money? The real question is, who do I need to become to handle more money? You need emotional regulation, patience, self-trust, decision clarity, identity maturity. Money is an amplifier. It turns up the volume on existing patterns. Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Plugging the Leaks because broke is boring. I'm Danielle, founder of My Money Enterprises and the creator of Tradelandia. This podcast is where we talk about the emotional side of money, the habits, patterns, and identity shifts that actually determine what happens in your financial life. Before we jump into today's episode, I want to pause for a moment and acknowledge something meaningful. This episode comes out of a season of learning and growth through the Podcast Accelerator, an experience that has pushed me to think differently, speak more clearly, and show up in a bigger way. I want to thank Connie Davis with Maiden Explorations for creating the opportunity to step into this space and expand my voice. And a huge thank you to Kyle Goodnight with Goodnight Podcasting Solutions for guiding the creative and technical side of this journey. This has been about more than podcasting. It's been growth, reflection, and stepping into a stronger version of myself. And I'm deeply grateful for that. Now let's talk about a cost that most people never measure. The emotional bill that we pay when we stay stuck. Today, we're talking about the emotional cost of staying the same. Not overdraft fees, not interest charges, not missed opportunities, but the emotional bill that we quietly pay every time we repeat money patterns that we already know aren't working. Most people assume that their financial stress is a math problem. But the deeper cost lives in your nervous system, your self-trust, your identity. Every repeated cycle, overspending, avoidance, panic, guilt, carries emotional weight. And over time, that weight becomes exhausting. So ask yourself honestly, what is staying the same costing me emotionally? Because staying stuck isn't neutral. It's active. It drains energy, confidence, and clarity. And often we feel that cost long before we see it in our bank account. Let's name what usually goes unspoken. The emotional debts that build quietly over time. Stress load. That low-grade anxiety about money doesn't just sit in your head. It lives in your body. It affects your sleep, your patience, your focus. You carry it everywhere. Avoidance fatigue. Ignoring statements, delaying conversations, pushing decisions away. Avoidance gives momentary relief, but it steals mental bandwidth. The longer it continues, the heavier it feels. Self-judgment, that inner voice saying, why am I still doing this? I should know better. That narrative chips away at confidence and identity. Loss of self-trust. Every time you promise yourself you'll do something financially and you don't, your brain keeps score. Rebuilding that trust takes intention, but it's possible. These aren't character flaws. They're emotional debts accumulating interest. And if left unchecked, they compound. And here's the surprising part. Staying stuck often feels safer than growing. Humans don't actually avoid pain. We avoid unfamiliar pain. Familiar discomfort, overspending cycles, stress, emotional shutdown. These are uncomfortable, but they're known territory. Your brain says, at least I understand this pain. Growth discomfort, saying no, pausing before purchases, facing your numbers, changing your habits. This discomfort feels uncertain, and uncertainty triggers resistance. You're not choosing between comfort and discomfort. You're actually choosing which discomfort builds your future. Growth discomfort is temporary and constructive. Familiar pain is repetitive and draining. The shift happens when you decide discomfort isn't punishment, it's training. And this becomes especially important when income starts to grow. A lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, believe the solution is simple. I just need to make more money. But here's the truth. More money doesn't fix emotional patterns. It magnifies them. If you overspend at a lower income, you'll overspend at a higher one. If you avoid your finances now, you'll avoid bigger numbers later. The pattern scales. Lifestyle, inflation, income rises, spending rises, not because people are irresponsible, but because emotional habits follow opportunity. I deserve this. Now I can relax. This fits the image I want. Without growth, increased income simply funds the same emotional decisions. Capacity versus income. The real question isn't, how do I make more money? The real question is, who do I need to become to handle more money? You need emotional regulation, patience, self-trust, decision clarity, identity maturity. Money is an amplifier. It turns up the volume on existing patterns. If emotional capacity doesn't grow alongside income, chaos scales too. This is not criticism. It's an invitation. Income expansion is an opportunity for personal expansion. So how do we build that capacity? Awareness without action keeps us stuck. So let's talk about real-world tools, moments where you can interrupt old patterns. Tool number 1, the emotional pause. Before non-essential spending, pause for 30 seconds and ask, what am I feeling right now? What do I actually need? Instead of, I've had a long day, I'm buying this. Try, I'm exhausted, I want comfort. Is this purchase solving that? Instead of autopilot, check out, do I still want this tomorrow? Tool number 2 is name the pattern. Replace shame with awareness. Instead of, I'm terrible with money, try, this is my stress spending pattern showing up. Instead of, I messed up again, try, this is avoidance, and I can interrupt it. Some other examples would be scarcity thinking is active, impulse mode, not an emergency. Tool number 3, micro self-trust. Keep tiny promises daily. Instead of, I'll fix this someday, try, Today, I'll check my balance. Today, I'll open one bill. I'll log one purchase. I will review one subscription. Each action says, I follow through. Tool number 4, replace the emotional need. Spending is emotional problem solving. So ask yourself, what am I trying to feel? Instead of retail therapy, take a walk. Instead of stress buying, call someone. Instead of boredom spending, delay for 10 minutes. Instead of I need this, try I need comfort. What actually provides that? These tools train emotional capacity, the muscle that supports real change. When emotional patterns shift, money stops feeling like a battleground. Self-trust grows. Decisions feel calmer. Identity expands. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness plus repetition. Every time you interrupt an old pattern, you vote for your future self. Sit with this question. What is staying the same costing me emotionally? And what small discomfort am I willing to choose this week to grow into who I want to become? If today's episode resonated, if you're ready to work on your money story and your money identity, I invite you to apply for one-on-one coaching. The link will be in the show notes. This isn't about quick fixes. It's about building the emotional capacity to handle your life and your money differently. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're learning to stop paying emotional interest on old patterns. And that's where real change begins. Thank you for listening to Plugging the Leaks because broke is boring. But remember, money isn't just math. It's emotional intelligence in motion.